Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2. And you know what professionals do in StarCraft 2? They win as efficiently as possible. And that is the kindest way I can phrase the filthy cheese that is currently being executed by Micro Jackson in the blue. It's ByuN. The unwitting, or well, we'll see if he scouts, a recipient of such lactose-based openers is the mysterious Protoss / Golden Retriever. It's MaxPax. We don't know quite who he is, or she is, or it is, but we know it's currently one of the best in the world. So, MaxPax has scouted with a probe. That probe has seen a severe lack of anything but a gas that just now started mining. And yes, you bet he's counting. He's counting the fact that there's 0 barracks in the base, and there's certainly at least one near his. Well, the probes are already pulled as we start things off early. The 2 SCVs give away what is already obviously happening here. MaxPax had started a Zealot immediately to deal with this, and that Zealot is going to be the only thing between him and a bunker in the middle of his natural. That very early scout against ByuN, who's well known for his early barracks place. The SCV barring the path, and actually, that SCV may have body blocked the Zealot into its death. It's not over yet, because that SCV not only did it block the Zealot, but it also may help. Okay, well, now it'll die unceremoniously to the one Stalker, but that's still a handful of Marines. The shield battery is done, but nothing with which to help. 4 Marines should not be a deadly number, but, well, can he finish? Will he send another SCV across? You know, I probably would in this scenario. That close to it. The Marine almost takes out the Stalker. He's sending 2 more SCVs across, so definitely interested. A little bit of a reshield might make all the difference here. Moments before that battery goes down, but wow, those moments. All right. Well, a short yet spirited attempt to steal away game 1. MaxPax not having any of it. He must have scouted, if not at the beginning of the game, at least off that first pylon. So ByuN can get his filthy cheese out of here, as MaxPax is clearly lactose intolerant. And, you know, I can't blame him for it as we go into game 2. ByuN. It's just 1. Which means... And I'm also wondering what the gas was for in the last game. We never even got to see. They've changed colors, but, I mean... One's Protoss and one's Terran, so at least not too hard to follow here. Anyways, we didn't even get to the most important part of the build, which is segueing into having a better economy. I mean, for me. Like and subscribe. Sorry, Jimmy. We were busy. We started way too... Anyways. Like and subscribe. In the moment you have before this barracks completes, jammed into the ice here of altitude. Well, I don't think ByuN's going to be intimidated. Well, clearly not intimidated by a 1-game loss here. Royal Blood, well known for some long, drawn-out and momentous battles, and he successfully avoided much of that. A Reaper, well, there's a Reaper wall, and if there's anyone you want to wall against, well, is that a Reaper wall? That does wall up. It looks a little odd. First Reaper comes in, catches a Psyblade, which does surprisingly little damage, but nothing to actually directly deal with it. He's going to have to pull some of the probes. And so far, MaxPax, no losses yet. Near perfect probe micro. May lose 1 before it's all said and done, but the Stalker is nearly complete, and that will be the end of the run. Stargate in production. Well, ByuN eats a hit. Another one, 2 HP, but will get away with his murder. Barracks already flying across. That one Reaper was all he was really going for, trying to get some early damage in before any units were out, but MaxPax isn't having any of it. He built a Zealot just to be safe, and safe indeed he was. Now adding on the Warp Gate, opted for the Stargate first. And that means he's going to be able to fill in probably the safest of options, which is Oracle or Phoenix early on. The only complication here very well could be the Widow Mines, which are about to pop out of the factory. But the Widow Mines will very much be scouted, as there's literally no other units on the field right now. How did he just get in here? Did he bounce the grenade over, or did he just fly or run? They don't really, they glide in. Well, mines pop out. Zealot will successfully spot them, leaving quite an odd scenario, as the Zealot should not get hit by the mines, but it has no real hope of killing them. So we'll lead them on one of the more unsatisfying of chases. Phoenix is the choice, as an Oracle, while it could help detect the mines, is vulnerable to getting hit by a single one. Phoenix has built up that energy over time, become more useful in higher numbers. Alright, so he'll eat the hit in order to let the Stalkers finish off the mine, but here comes a lot of trouble between the Viking, which could land, as well as the Cyclone. That Zealot's death was indeed in vain. Robotics facility is on the way. Just speeding up the tech tree. His MaxPax. I feel like we've seen MaxPax, not literally, but we've seen his playstyle kind of progress in the way many younger, well, nobody can spot those Widow Mines until it's almost literally impossible to see them from that angle. But he's gone from being known for this early aggression, the MaxPax build, the proxy gate cheese, to being one of the most well-rounded Protoss players and just all-around players in the world. Currently ranked, essentially he flips with Hero back and forth for the top-ranked Protoss currently. I think part of that is his Protoss versus Protoss is quite accomplished, whereas Hero struggles a lot more in that matchup and maintaining consistency. There's a lot of other quirks to it, but MaxPax isn't nearly the 1 or 2 base all-in player who relying on getting that early aggression. No, but instead can play a longer macro 200 supply game with the best of them, and that so far seems to be the intent, as he has no intentions right now of trying to kill ByuN, and he'd be hard-pressed to do so with 5 Phoenixes and a handful of gateway units. Instead, he's gone for... there's no more mine there. The mines that are so well hidden, even I don't notice as an observer. Locks onto 2 of the clones. Gonna fight them heads up once the Raven gets it. Loses just, 2 Phoenixes in total. Takes a lot of damage, but I think getting the Raven... Did he get a Cyclone too? He did not. Getting the Raven is very good here. Was it worth it? I think so. The Raven can kind of... It's such a Swiss Army knife. Well, in this case, a Korean Army knife. But it can be used for almost anything. Cracking open the defenses by using interference matrix. Just auto turrets on probes, for the most part, or to tank damage in the fight. An anti-armor missile can deal with the larger groups of zealots or gateway units that have a tendency to swarm together, and of course providing detection. And thus ends this message has been brought to you by Observer. Wow, I'm missing a lot. If only I had an observer. This message brought to you by observers. Buy today. It's only $25.75 and the only Protoss army unit to cost 1 supply. it's essentially like losing money not to have them. Or at least losing phoenixes to Widow Mines. Twilight Council done. Charge on the way. +1/+1 across the board. ByuN with a significant advantage. Oh, a little over a minute on his 1/1 upgrades for his bio. It's less relevant for MaxPax to have the upgrades. Of course, he'd love to have an advantage. But overall, Protoss unit's a little bit more reliant on unit composition as opposed to the sheer damage or output or defense. And this is also their major weakness. Oh no! That and Widow Mines, but that's pretty much everyone. Also their major weakness, because if you don't have all those pieces of the army together, it can get, the rest of them get dismantled quite easily. And ByuN is a professional deconstructor when it comes to the Protoss. MaxPax sitting at 74 probes. He's got his 4th Nexus about to complete. And without that Raven, the Colossi pose, with their extended thermal lens, quite an imminent danger to the bio units on the ground. Especially with 1/1 in charge finishing, MaxPax should be in good shape to defend any focused attack, even with a few ghosts on the field, but MaxPax doesn't have that 1/1. He doesn't have charge. And if he fights now, he's definitely going to regret it. But he's got to feign, kind of box out ByuN, so he can't get him up against his bases, where it becomes easy to reposition, find a concave. Well, with 3 Colossi, I don't think the upgrade advantage is going to matter that much. ByuN is going to need a lot more Marauders, which he's always very happy to build, and Vikings. But for now, comfortable with just moving around the map. And honestly, the most surprising part of all this for me is not that. Not talking to Observer Chat, but instead that MaxPax is able to keep such a supply lead while still building his, progressing his army composition. Most players are not able to hang with ByuN or Terran in general at this stage of the game. But MaxPax is managing his production, his economy so well, he actually maintains this advantage. Despite having these high-tech units, despite having upgrades. He doesn't have disruptors. I don't believe he has a second robo yet. So he has been very focused on the gateway units. But we'll have to see how the first major fight goes. EMP lands across all of the Phoenixes here. He's sacrificing some of the Zealots. Maybe going to try to blink out of one of these Widow Mines. Eats another hit. EMP lands, but the Colossi are stepping forward. Some charged mods are over to the left flank, but pushed ByuN all the way back up his ramp right now. The second robotics facility, as well as disruptors, are on the way. So MaxPax is on point at the moment. And ByuN is clearly on the back foot. Trying to come down the ramp. Oh, ByuN picks up a few units, but I think that was kind of accidental. Just kind of clicking around, missing a few things. EMP lands on the front side, but MaxPax actually kept his Colossi far back enough to avoid it. Gonna draw out one more Widowmine hit. He noticed it there. Does lose the Stalker, but he's got higher priorities. We'll see if he notices that ByuN's 2-2 just completed. So another edge for ByuN in this fight. MaxPax has to be very careful, because here comes ByuN from the north side. Looking for the full surround. +2 weapons is not quite done yet. Disruptor shot, though. Slayer, where did that Disruptor come from? He was in the midst of the army. ByuN clearly didn't see it. That Disruptor may take the wind out of his sails right now as he was looking for that full surround. But Widowmine's hitting both sides. The Phoenix is drawing them into the Bio Army. But the Bio Army is cutting down everything but the Colossi, leaving them exposed for attack. The Disruptors were wandering across the map, but enough of them so that MaxPax is able to find the shots, 2 at a time. Dark Shrine on the way. +2 weapons is completed. The battle will continue at the bottom of the ramp here. ByuN has been able to break out and take a slight supply lead. But very importantly for MaxPax, his Colossi are still intact. And he has to owe that somewhat to the fact that ByuN chose not to make Vikings in nearly as quickly as you might expect, but instead focused most on bio production. The charge lots, boxing out to the north. Disruptor shot. Another disruptor from the back just kind of gliding into the fight. And will join up with the army. And that could make the difference. He gets the shot somehow. I have no idea how that Ruptor survived through the Valley of the Shadow of Death. But at the end of the day, MaxPax almost off-screen. The War Prism actually yanks 2 disruptors out of there, the only survivors. But overall, not a clear victory for ByuN. Even though he's killed 86 zealots so far. Ooh, that War Prism. Was that a second prism? Thankfully, it didn't still have the Ruptors in it, but significant misplay there. Will lead to ByuN feeling a lot more confident moving forward. He no longer has to worry about the counterattacks, at least as dangerously. A disruptor shot, though. ByuN forced back yet again. EMP lands. But most of these units not particularly affected by it, as the disruptors don't care, unless they're actually getting hit, and the charge lots have far more HP than they have shields. The units stim again, but the medevacs are nearly out of energy. I don't know how much is from EMP accidentally and from the stims, probably just the first one. But MaxPax has been hanging with him. He's at 87 probes. 86. As a Widow Mine shows up to the north side. It looks like ByuN managed to get a Widow Mine drop off. The charge lots have to dodge away from the Ruptors. Another shot, flinging them out, dealing with the mines. Did he just fire all his shots, though? You gotta keep one in the chamber. He can tell how many are cooling down, even if you don't know exactly when they're gonna come back up. Might be able to spot that. Disruptors. Oh, another drop. The Widow Mine, will it be retargeted? No, it just goes for the sacrificial probe. 3-3 on the way, plus 3 armor is done for ByuN. His weapons are a long way off. An interesting split. 3-3 for MaxPax, though. Going into a flank he didn't expect. ByuN jumps 4 disruptors in the middle of the map. Easily pops them on their own. And with it, MaxPax loses his ability to hold on the other side. And keep ByuN bottled up in his base, especially with another Ruptor just wandering in. MaxPax's aggressive Ruptors have been a blessing, but also a curse, as they've now been abandoned almost as much as they've helped. Another Widow Mine in position to splits off 1 Zealot to minimize the splash. There is a Robo over here. DT Blink is on the way. Some DTs show up to the party. Gliding through the center of the map in what's shaping up to be quite a dramatic match. We're 15 minutes in, and neither player able to find a decisive winning army composition, as the DTs and the Widow Mines are both trying to draw the attention of the opposite player away. And Disruptor clears the mine. The most explosive detection. It's dangerous is also accurate. Another DT cleaned up. Over to the 9 o'clock base. EMPs on the Zealots. Disruptor covering the retreat. 200 supply. Both players have money in the bank. Neither has really opted for the latest game options. Whether it's carriers, or Tempest. Mass DT, I guess we're seeing, whereas ByuN with ranged Liberators is usually the choice for these late game scenarios. A big commitment of units over to the right side. MaxPax going to try to get some of the probes out of there. Even will get some of them out. 16 probes go down, but he can afford to lose them. Plummets to 77. A lot of DTs on ByuN's side of the map are going to drag much of the army back, allowing MaxPax to focus his forces on the smaller side of things, the counterattack that just took out the Nexus and all those probes. And MaxPax cleans it up. The Widow Mines will continue to dot the field. Clearing one up. Gonna tell you, he's gonna sacrifice. Oh, kills the mine. Oh, the stalker? Please, sir! We got it! Using that friendly fire in the very literal sense of the term. ByuN adding 4 more command centers on, realizing that's the kind of game we're having. Though he's not maxed out, he doesn't have money in the bank, so he might be jumping the gun just a moment on that. But expecting to be able to hold on here. MaxPax does have a lot of Ruptors. The one glaring issue I see for ByuN is no Liberators. Much like the Vikings were on the later side, he seems reluctant to add on those later game starport units. Still sticking with the bio. A recall in a dangerous position. The units we recall directly into the fray. Disruptor shot clips a Zealot as it tries desperately to deal with the bio. We'll ward him away for now. How many more shots left? Fires a shot off to the side, and MaxPax is just getting run over. The recall wasn't enough. Disruptors are always a dicey unit to try to recall into the fray. And at the end of the day, it's looking quite desperate. MaxPax struggles to clean up the army. ByuN actually down to 50 SCVs here. He's got plenty of command centers with orbitals, though, in order to, well, we'll probably see this graph change a bit. Yeah, MaxPax has maintained. Once again, MaxPax has kept a solid army supply despite all this. He's kept his army. Oh, that's always frustrating. A Whittle Mine. Right where you want to expand. How many gateways? 12 gates. 2 robos. Almost constantly using both of them. DTs over to the right. Main army to the left for MaxPax. And the DTs, the last one, no! Oh, that's a lot. That is a lot to lose without accomplishing anything in turn. Oh, more disruptor shots, though. He's gonna clear out a planetary. Would have really been nice to clear out that other one. How many more shots? I think he has one in the chamber. Fires it off. It's just a dangerous force field for now. MaxPax is keeping up his income. The 12 SCVs went down with that last planetary. MaxPax actually still has a supply lead, which is quite impressive considering. Even though much of it is in workers here, the Vikings still going forward. More disruptors, covering the retreat, building 2 at a time. Well, army comes right back into that left flank where, of course, there was a command center ready. MaxPax warps in another round of units, and the economies are really starting to show in the supply here. Not only has MaxPax not crumbled to an army that, honestly, ByuN would have run most Protoss over with. He is still holding on strongly and dealing with these bases despite some losses. Loses a disruptor to Whittle Mines. There's a big drop on the other side, though, as ByuN once again tries to divide and conquer. And MaxPax is going to have to make some incredibly difficult decisions. Does he actually recall yet again to try to fight this army? Or do we go into a base trade with one of the best base traders in all of the game? Is there a disruptor back at home? He tried to warp in some DTs. MaxPax still has a lot of economy that is mostly unthreatened so far. Trying to land some snipes on Zealots. Many of the orbitals are in the air right now. There is the awkward scenario where if all the orbitals are killed, the DTs become the best units, though the Dark Shrine itself is in trouble. I do appreciate MaxPax's patience. He hasn't gone for the recall. Oh no, Whittle Mines on one of these mining bases, but ByuN doesn't burrow them in time. There's clearly a lot going on right now. More DTs joining up with the main army. MaxPax realizes a recall would have just been giving ByuN time to get those orbitals to work, drop the mules, and rebuild the army, and possibly just do the same thing again the moment he looks away. But at the same time, MaxPax is now supply blocked. He's losing all of his production. ByuN has the larger army, though can he bring it to bear? Does he notice the DTs? Oh, I don't know. He's trying to get away. It looks like he barely will. Meanwhile, though, ByuN loses a planetary As well, I don't know how many orbitals are in the air right now. The main base is nearly gone. MaxPax still, but at this point, I'm going to say somewhat stubbornly, refusing to recall. As, well, you know, if you had such a bad experience as his one attempt so far, I don't blame him. So MaxPax still has 47 probes, but only really one base to mine from. A handful of DTs on the other side. The orbital count has dwindled dramatically from nearly double digits down to 3. And who knows how many are in the air. 13 more SCVs, bringing the total SCV complement to 6. This isn't Wings of Liberty. In Wings of Liberty, you started with 6. So right now, MaxPax, who, by the way, was barely alive when Wings of Liberty came out. Okay, he was like 7 or something, but I don't... barely alive, has maintained enough supply. Ooh, the drop, though. You don't want to be running down there. Gonna lose a few of these probes. The Colossi in an awkward spot on the high ground with the Blink Stalkers hot on their heels. Another DT. And despite the lack of a Dark Shrine, the DTs are making things incredibly difficult for ByuN here at this late stage. MaxPax really pulled it together. You know, honestly, it didn't even fall apart. I'm not giving him the credit. The only maybe misplay was the recall that he kind of got slaughtered. Oh my god. And he saved the recall to get those DTs out of there. And the DTs may very well be the most valuable units right now. Because ByuN is at 1 SCV! What? ByuN is at none SCVs! Ha! What is that? Okay. MaxPax is rebuilding his entire civilization. ByuN still has the full might of the Terran army, because that is all he has. The DTs prevent him from using mules to gather more minerals. And that means ByuN is suddenly left in this awkward scenario where he has to work with exactly what he has. And here we go. This fight will decide it. Disruptor shot center mass. He doesn't have time to keep retreating away from these. But there are shield batteries and cannons on the high ground. MaxPax has handled himself like a grizzled veteran in this game. ByuN, I feel like ByuN is a bit shell-shocked here, as this kind of game goes his way. This is ByuN's sort of game. He's thrown it into chaos, and he's usually the one who makes his way out. But there's still Dark Templar. He's doing ghost drops so he can EMP and finish off the DTs, which is already, that's just amazing to me. One of the most technical scenarios you can enter here in StarCraft 2, where neither, you know, there is still a draw on the table, because I will maintain that ByuN's army throughout all of this on paper has been better and larger. Not always the same thing, but MaxPax has done a deadly dance with DTs and disruptors while maintaining enough army supply and economy. He's actually out of minerals at the base he's currently holding. But ByuN has not yet seen every probe on the map, essentially. Long-distance mining. Oh, he got the... He got the ghosts! Oh, the assassins became the assassinated! And what a play! MaxPax jumps in before the ghost can react. Almost no seconds at all if you don't have detection to deal with that. And what a huge move. Now, ByuN may have to do something that I've only seen happen in Bronze League Heroes. He may have to mine by putting SCVs into a medevac. Well, if we get that far. as, well, ByuN still has a, like, ByuN keeps winning these fights. More disruptors have died. There's only one Ruptor left. So, even though MaxPax has made so many incredible moves, he's running out of options. And more importantly than options is minerals. Well, I guess minerals create options, but at the end of the day, will ByuN still run him over here? He's going for it. Is there anything left? Shield battery overcharge. It's not enough. ByuN turns it all around. What? Oh, I really thought MaxPax could hold that together. What a maddening game. What a beautiful... Oh my. I don't know what to think. Both players. Just... It wasn't a perfect game from either side. But it was a great one. Well, I hope you enjoyed, because I did. That technical brawl that ByuN takes it. But it took everything and then some. MaxPax clearly able to hang with the best, in case that was ever in doubt. But, wow. Thank you to Wardy. Thank you to you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Like, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Good luck, have fun. Stay chill.